A little while ago, we did a video called The Good and Bad of Age Gap Relationships. And we got a pretty good response to that video. A lot of good questions, a lot of great comments.
A lot of bad comments too.
A lot of, negative comments that we all see, right? But nonetheless, there were a lot of good points that people made. So with the interest, we wanted to do another video that has a little bit to do, not just age gap relationship, but really it has to do with the 3 hard truths that you really need to consider if you are going to start a relationship with a Filipino woman long distance. Love, if there's one thing that I hate seeing more than anything,
what is it?
It's the question we get from people, because we get a lot of people that send us private messages asking for advice and asking for help. And it's when somebody sends a comment like, it's almost like the end of the relationship.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And they put so much work and energy into the relationship only to have it fall apart. And if they would have known these 3 hard truths that we're going to go over today, maybe it could have turned out differently, or maybe they wouldn't have wasted their time with each other. Maybe they would have found somebody that was right for them from the very start. So we're gonna get right to it. Ready for number 1?
Okay, what's the number 1?
Number 1. And I don't want you to take this number 1 the wrong way, okay? Because a lot of people will hear what I'm gonna say and they're gonna be like, huh? No way, that's what I wanted to get away from. You know, I wanted to get away from women that were like that, right? But before you make judgment, listen to my actual explanation, okay? But the first hard truth is you have to kind of put yourself as the man kind of on a short leash, okay? And everybody knows what a short leash means. It generally means like, you know, a woman or a man is controlling somebody. You know, you put somebody on a short leash and you have complete control of that person. They do whatever you say and blah, 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 and it's just bad. It's a bad thing for a relationship. That's not what I mean though. What I mean when I say put yourself on a short leash, it 100% pertains to how you interact with other people and how you look at your relationship. We shot a video not so long ago, and it was about Filipinas trying to steal your man, right? Mm-hmm. That's a true thing. It does happen. And here's the thing that every man looking for a serious relationship in the Philippines needs to really think about. So what's happening is you're getting all these friend requests on Facebook from other Filipino women just saying, hi, how are you? You have no idea who they are. And they're just saying hi, right? What harm could there be in friending them on Facebook? That's where you got to tread water carefully, okay? What many men might think is harmless, just harmless behavior, you know, I'm just messaging the girl and saying hi, right? Just talking to them. We're just having a casual conversation, right? What seems harmless to us is a really big deal to the woman, all right? And it's not fair. It's not fair for the man to give that anxiety, right? To make the woman wonder, like, well, why is he talking to her? You know, does he like her better than me? You know, and you can say, well, you know, my woman should know that I love her, and no harm's gonna come from that, right? I read a very good book a few years back, and the name of it was Ask It, right? And it was based 100% on asking yourself this one little question. Is doing this really the wise thing to do for my relationship? Is it the wise thing to do? So is allowing that person to become a friend on Facebook, and then you start to become friends with that other person, even though it seems harmless in the beginning, is it really the wise thing to do when you're in a long distance relationship?
Yeah.
Probably not.
No.
And you have to kind of flip it. You know, how would you feel if she was doing that with tons of other American men? Everybody likes attention, right? Everybody likes that, right? Everybody likes to feel wanted, right? So everybody's gonna feel good when they get these friend requests and get all these things and get so it just makes you feel good about yourself. So you're tempted to actually want to talk to them where they may be trying to lure you in, right? And they do that. People on the internet do that. It could be a scam. It could be a real person just trying to steal you from another person, right? It could be a lot of things. But the reality of it is, if they're being real sweet to you and this and that, and really, pulling on your ego a little bit, it's probably not the wise thing to do to continue on a conversation with that person. And it's probably not a wise thing to do to really be friending a whole lot of people on Facebook and other social media of other Filipinos that are currently residing in the Philippines when you're actually in a serious relationship long distance with a Filipina. You remember what I did, right? What did I do?
He asked me if I know this woman and if he can accept it or not.
Exactly. I said, I sent her a screenshot. I'm like, these people friend requested me today. Do you know who they are? She would say, nope. I'm like, okay. Delete, 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 delete. That's the respectful thing to do.
But I don't really ask you though who adds you. Like, oh, who adds you today? Who adds you today?
No, love, you're right. You never asked me.
Yeah.
You didn't have to.
Yeah.
Okay?
I trust you.
But you should never, but it's not about trust. It's about respect. Yeah. It's about respecting your brain. It's about respecting the anxiety that it could give you if you did know that I was chatting, other Filipino women, right?
Right.
What's perfectly normal here in the US to date and to talk to a lot of other people at the same time isn't necessarily the norm in the Philippines, okay? So you have to be ultra considerate and keep yourself on a short leash and really care about her feelings and put that number one, right? All right, so we're on to number 2. Love, to start it off, what was your favorite thing to do in the Philippines?
Aside from singing, I hang out with my friends a lot.
How old were your friends?
Different ages, but most of the time it's like in their 20s, late 20s, early 20s. So it's kind of like in my age bracket,
So the second hard truth has everything to do with really coming down to her level when it comes to peer groups, social networks, friends, people you go hang out with and all that. Okay, I'm not saying that you have to go hang out with like 19-year-olds in bars. What I am saying is if you expect her to just kind of adapt and just kind of fit into your group of people, it's probably not going to work long term. She's going to need younger people that she's going to want to engage with and interact with, right? You can't control that. And the best thing to do, especially when you're a couple, you're going to need to engage and be okay with hanging out with younger people than yourself. Yeah. If you're 40 or 50, you know what? Go do something that is an activity where there's a lot of, 20, mid-20s, high 20, low 30s, right? I remember one time saying, hey, let's go to do karaoke with so-and-so. And he was like 48 and his wife was like 49 and she's like, do we have to?
Yeah.
And they're a lot of fun, but I kind of understood then that, I'm going to need to come down to her level. And I don't mind it. I actually enjoy hanging out with younger people. Keeps me young, and I actually like having fun, and I'm very competitive in CrossFit and all that stuff too. So it's really cool. I compete against 20-year-olds all the time. So it's nothing new to me.
He doesn't look 43 too, so.
It doesn't matter how I look. It's how I act. It's what I do, right? You kind of got to be a little immature sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be these like uptight like parent figures. Like, God, that'd be weird. And if that's all we are is like a good guidance for her and good support for her and this, God, I support my kids. I don't want another child. I'm not marrying a child. Like, I'm marrying my wife. I love my wife. I love having fun with her. I love doing things with her, and I love doing all those, things that married couples do. And, some of you out there are probably going to be saying, well, you know what? I'm married. I've been married to my Filipino wife. We have an age gap, and it's been, 10 years, and she's just happy, and, we hang out with my friends, and she loves my friends, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sure she does. But if we have to be honest with ourselves, I don't think there's a mid-20s or 21-year-old out there on the planet that, given two groups of people of who to hang out with, 40 or 50-year-olds or 25-year-olds like themselves that would choose the 45 and 50-year-olds. While she may be going with the flow and doing what makes you happy and being a good wife, you know, a good wife doesn't necessarily always mean a truly fulfilled and happy wife, okay? And, you know, the name of our channel is Crazy Filipina Love. And the reason why that is it's not just about having a good wife, right? You know, we all know that Filipinos have traditional cultural values. That's all great. We're going to do another video on that later. But it's not just about having a good wife, a good loyal wife. It's about having a really happy and fulfilled wife. It's about having a good marriage where you can grow together.
Yeah, but I gotta say though, like I've known a Filipina woman, and she says she's okay with hanging out with her husband's friends who are in their like 50s because she's kind of introverted. Like she doesn't really care who she hang out with. So.
Yeah, I mean there are some people like that. I'm not saying that like in order for your relationship to work, you have to hang out with 25-year-old guys and girls, right?
Yeah.
You gotta go to nightclubs. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is keep it in the back of your mind. My wife, she will go with the flow a lot too. Well, yeah, let's just do that. If that's what you want to do, yeah, that's what we'll do. She's always kind of going with the flow a lot, right? And I love that about her. But I gotta think to myself, is that really what she wants to do? You know, does she really want to do that? And I'm constantly asking my wife that question too. You know, I'm like, are you sure you really want to do that? Are you okay? So it's really cool, you know, to get her involved in some new experiences and new things, right? But we can't forget that we need to try to do that with social peer groups that, you know, that she can relate to at least, and that is a good common ground for both man and woman, right? So we've just about talked that one to death, right?
Yep.
On to number 3. And this third hard truth is simple. If you have an age gap, just get used to the fact that people are going to be judgmental. People are going to say things, especially when you're here together in the US or whatever country you're going to be living in, right? People are gonna say mean things sometimes. People are gonna say judgmental things. People are gonna say, you know, she's a gold digger. People are gonna say, you know, he's a creepy old man. I mean, these are things that we've been called, right? And you just gotta be like, whatever, and be okay with it, right?
Sometimes they stare at us so weirdly.
There has been situations where that negative judgment or that negative looks that we get from people sometimes, or that we think that we get from people, right? It could just be in our heads, right?
Most of the time, it's in our heads.
Most of the times it is, right? But, you know, that is a hard truth. People are going to kind of wonder, you know, like, why are they together? You know, this, you know, it's kind of different. It's not normal.
If people wonder about us, how much more those couple who are like 30 years and 40?
So I think we've just talked these 3 hard truths to death. So we're going to end this video now. We want to thank you, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and be on the lookout for our next video where we discuss some more hard truths. Until next time, keep it real.